the Mini. You know, I guess you could say that it reinvented car design. It pushed the wheels right out to the far corners of the car and turned the engine sideways, creating loads more space inside and that legendary nippy handling. And now, millions of cars later, Mini is doing a spot of reinventing once again. It's going electric. An electric Mini seems to me to be completely in line with the ethos of that original car. It was developed out of the UK's need for a more fuel-efficient car for people to drive. This was 1957, and in post-World War II Britain, the Suez Crisis had sent fuel prices soaring, which left folk wondering if the gas-guzzling vehicles of the day actually made much sense. Sound familiar? In this video, we'll be telling you everything you need to know about the Mini Electric. And if you head over to electrifying.com, you'll also find helpful guides and explainers if you're thinking about going electric for the first time. So just released, fresh out of the blocks, this is the Mini Electric. Looking just like a Mini with a few subtle tweaks. You know, you see Minis absolutely everywhere, don't you? And that's because they work for so many different kinds of people. And the Mini Electric, well, it just broadens that appeal. And as always with a Mini, personalisation is key. But they've kept it simple with a choice of 3 levels with various options to choose from within each package. You can let the whole world know that you've gone electric with some not so subtle, energetic yellow trim on the mirrors, the badging and of course the front grille. And if you don't like the idea of being quite so obvious, you can be a little bit more classic with your choice. I think I'm feeling quite electrifying today. Perfect. So, what do you need to know? Well, first up, there's a sensible £24,000 asking price after the government grant, or just £299 monthly rental with a £4,000 down payment, which means it's pretty much in line with a mid-range petrol VW Golf or a Mini Cooper S. You get a smallish 32.5 kilowatt-hour battery, which is good for a modest WLTP range of 140 miles of driving. And if all this talk of kilowatt hours and WLTP leaves you wondering what we're on about, then we have a handy dictionary over on electrifying.com that has all the answers to terms like that. Anyway, back to the range. Now, 140 miles might not sound like that much. Around 300 miles is fast becoming the norm for electric cars these days. But just bear with me here, because if your lifestyle means that you don't need to drive long distances, and here's a fact for you, we drive on average just 20 miles a day, then a car like this with a smaller battery, which is less expensive and also takes less time to charge, could work really well for your lifestyle. Well, that's what Mini are hoping, anyway. Inside you'll find some subtle touches that set it apart, but overall it's just very familiar. It's a Mini, it's stylish, it's smart, and it's incredibly well put together. And with that in mind, this is the part of the review that we like to call slightly boring, but very, very useful. So let's talk about the spec levels. As I said, it comes in 3 different levels and you can't mix and match between them. Level 1 is pretty straightforward. Couple of colours to choose from, 3 alloy wheels, but it does come with plenty of kit as standard, including climate control and a navigation pack. Level 2, which is this car, slightly ups the ante. It adds more tech and comfort, along with a choice of 4-wheel designs and 5 exterior colours. While Level 3 gives you loads more customisation options, along with a much higher spec, including treats like a panoramic roof, leather seats, a Harman Kardon sound system and a head-up display. By putting the battery pack under the floor of the car, space inside is no different to the other 3-door versions. Which I know is not saying much, but the Mini is hardly renowned for its practicality, is it? Storage is nothing to write home about, but it's absolutely adequate for the size of the car. And the boot, well, that's also compact, although it is larger than the one on the Honda E and has a place under the false floor to store the charging cables. I do really like the interior, but my absolute favourite bit is this digital instrument panel here in the centre that manages to somehow be retro and futuristic all at the same time. And it's got all the information that you need to know about the car in one place, right in your eye line. Very practical, very sensible, but also looks pretty cool. So, that was a slightly boring bit. I hope it was useful, well, not too boring. Now for the fun part, let's go for a drive. And this is where the Mini Electric might just be a winner. The 181 brake horsepower that works the front wheels manages 0 to 62 in 7.3 seconds, which is quick enough. But the real win is that the smallish battery pack means it only weighs 130 kilograms more than the normal Cooper. And that means that it is a lot of fun to drive, and it's also really fast from a standing start like lots of electric cars. You get all that power instantaneously. Its motor, which is from the BMW i3 electric car, sends all the power straight to the front wheels. And if you add in really nice direct steering, very precise handling, and those really neat dimensions, and you've got what might well be described as a bit of an electric hot hatch. You get different driving modes you can flick through: Sport, Mid, Green and Green Plus. Each has an impact on the range, so go sportier, which sharpens things up, and you'll see it drop. Green, well, you'll get more out of it, while Green Plus turns off non-essential draws on the energy, like the aircon. Now, Sport is predictably slightly more fun to drive, but I'd keep it in green most of the time. You give the battery a helping hand, and it's still a really great, enjoyable car to drive. You also get a couple of levels of regenerative braking, another one of those phrases to look up in our EV dictionary if you're not sure about it. So basically, when you accelerate, you're using power or energy, and when you brake, you're creating energy. So regenerative braking recycles this energy back into the batteries where you can use it to recharge them. It's pretty clever, eh? You can go for a more gentle coasting mode or a second more powerful one which feels grabbier and a bit more forceful. It basically gives you one pedal driving, very similar to the e-pedal on the Nissan Leaf, which is something that I really like a lot. The Mini suffers from the same issues as other small electric cars in that it's not really designed for motorway work, because that sort of running really kills the battery pretty quickly. But if you do need to go on longer journeys, it can handle motorway driving pretty well. It's punchy, letting you nip in and out of traffic quickly, and has what I think is impressive noise insulation. The ride is firm, but nothing to stress about, and I will take it in exchange for that brilliant handling. Small does have its benefits, because the smaller battery also means that it's quicker to charge. A 7 kilowatt charger like the ones you'll find at home or at public chargers will fill you up in around 5 hours, but get onto a rapid charger and you can add over 100 miles of range in around half an hour. Mini has partnered with green energy provider OVO to offer buyers 5,000 free miles of driving. So what do we think? Wow, it's the Mini, isn't it? So it's hard not to love it just a little bit. But as an electric car, we think that if you're one of the majority of UK drivers who travels around 20 miles a day, then this is a brilliant option for you that is guaranteed to put a smile on your face. Thanks for watching. Now, we've got loads more reviews together with all the information you need to know about switching to a hybrid or electric car over on electrifying.com.